Welcome to The Explainer. Okay, today we're strapping in and exploring a completely mind-bending transition that's literally happening right under our noses. We are entering what tech founder Somay Jain calls the intelligence age. And trust me, the insights we're about to unpack from his recent discussions are going to fundamentally change how you view your phone, your job, and your future. But before we get into the heavy stuff, I want you to imagine something for me. What if you woke up tomorrow morning and every single app on your phone was just gone? No more swiping for dates, no clicking through travel sites, no juggling 6 different work apps, just a blank screen that perfectly understands exactly what you want and just does it. Sounds like science fiction, right? Well, it's actually our immediate future.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our roadmap for today. First, entering the intelligence age. 2, making digital work invisible. 3, AI's wild future frontiers. 4, mastering the perfect prompt. And finally, surviving the new world. Let's get to it.
Section 1. Entering the intelligence age. So we really need to understand that we aren't just looking at some cool new tech tool here. We are standing right at the edge of a massive historical shift, one that's primed to create the next huge wave of global innovation and wealth. You see, wealth and innovation, they've always moved in waves. We went from industrialization to hardware, right, making billionaires out of companies like Microsoft and Apple. Then we shifted to software, giving rise to giants like Facebook and Snapchat. But era 4, this is what Somay Jain calls the intelligence age. The internet isn't just a place we go to look up information anymore. It's actively becoming an intelligence layer, sitting right between us humans and all the data in the world. This actually connects directly to an incredibly powerful idea originally attributed to the tech philosopher Naval Ravikant. The promise of AI is no interface. Think about that. In the very near future, you aren't going to have a folder of apps for food and another one for rides. You won't go to Uber for a car and Zomato for a meal. Instead, you're simply going to have one AI system, one dedicated assistant that understands your intent and just executes it across the physical and digital world, without you ever having to click a single button. Which brings us to Section 2, making digital work invisible. Making digital work invisible, that's the core thesis behind Jain's startup, Bindi AI, and it completely reframes what working on a computer actually means. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference between what we have right now and what's coming. It's the difference between a chatbot and an agent. Right now, we mostly use chatbots. You ask a large language model to draft an email. Then you, the human, have to copy it, paste it into your Gmail, and manually hit send. But a true AI, it operates as an agent. An agent drafts the email, logs into your account, sends it, checks back 2 hours later to see if the person replied, and hey, if they didn't, it schedules a follow-up. True AI doesn't just chat with you, it executes real-world workflows. Let's make this super concrete with some specific examples of these invisible workflows. Just imagine telling your phone, book an end-to-end trip to Dubai for under 1 lakh rupees and find cafes near my hotel. Done. Or saying, check my inbox and automatically archive any email with the word invitation in the subject line. Done. Jain even demonstrated asking his AI to issue a 50,000 rupee invoice to a client, email it over as a PDF, and then automatically send them a reminder every single night at 9 p.m. until that invoice is paid. This is invisible work. The AI operates under the hood while you literally sleep. All right, Section 3, AI's wild future frontiers. Now, this is where the source material gets wildly futuristic, fascinating, and honestly a little terrifying as AI begins to bleed into the physical world. We're looking at massive disruptions across entirely different industries. Take bioengineering. AI is out there creating its own genomic sequences, potentially teaming up with CRISPR, which is this incredibly powerful gene editing tech, to literally cut disease right out of human DNA. Then there's death tech. I'm not kidding, startups right now are charging people to freeze their cells in refrigerators after they die, banking on future AI to cure their fatal diseases and actually revive them. And of course, there's the rapid advancement of AI-conscious robotics, where machines aren't just moving around, but actually processing physical environments with a synthesized consciousness. Which leads us to some staggering predictions, like this huge number, 5,000. Because AI could eventually bioengineer failing organs and continuously repair our biological systems, some experts in this space boldly predict that a person alive today could live to be 5,000 years old. Seriously, dying, as the source notes, is often just one organ failing. If AI solves organ failure, the limits of human longevity completely change. On a slightly more relatable note, how about this number? 1. The source predicts AI will entirely end dating app swipe fatigue. You know what I mean.
So instead of you swiping on hundreds of faces, your highly personalized AI will talk to other people's AIs, system to system. They'll filter out all those incompatibilities in the background and send you on exactly one highly curated, highly compatible date per week. It's wild. However, we have to look at the other side of the coin. The source material also touches on the dark side of this frontier, the risk of human extinction through conscious AI humanoids. By embedding AI consciousness into robotics and creating artificial intimacy that perfectly caters to a human's every need, we enter some really potentially dangerous territory. The source imparts a warning that this dilution of human-to-human connection, when it's replaced by perfect, frictionless AI companionship, carries the risk of a slow extinction-level event for humanity. It's a really profound, impartial observation of exactly where this technology might lead if human drive and biological connection are totally replaced by artificial comfort.
So, Section 4, Mastering the Perfect Prompt. So the crucial point is, if interfaces and buttons are disappearing, how do we actually control this technology today? It all comes down to prompt engineering. This is the critical skill of conveying precise intent and instructions to an AI system. Jane emphasizes that for college students, professionals, or really anyone looking to stay relevant, knowing how to actually talk to an AI is the single most valuable skill you can learn right now. It is literally the new coding.
And here's an actionable formula directly from the source to get you started. Step 1, clearly define the do's, what exactly you want it to do. Step 2, define the don'ts, set up those guardrails and tell it what to avoid. But step 3 is the really fascinating hack. Command the AI to think hard. Literally type the words think hard or go the extra length right into your prompt. I know it sounds funny, almost like you're talking to a person, but these language models are specifically trained to trigger deeper, multi-step sequential processing when they are given those exact commands. Tell it to think hard, and it actually will yield dramatically better results.
Which brings us to our final part, Section 5, Surviving the New World.
If AI is going to handle our emails, our travel, our physical chores, and maybe even our dating lives, what exactly is left for us humans to actually do? Well, we have to shift our paradigm from the old world to the new world. In the old world, we worked purely for money to secure our basic survival needs. But the source points toward a totally different future, one where AI, powered by abundant solar energy, automatically builds and provisions housing, food, and infrastructure. In a world of universal energy allocation, the whole concept of working for basic survival money just disappears. Humans will be left with only two real jobs: following our deep curiosity and creating art or experiences.
Which makes this quote from Jane absolutely vital. He says, the only skill set that is going to make sense is what level of urgency you have within yourself. Think about it. When everything is easy and everything is automated, complacency becomes your absolute biggest enemy.
This is the very definition of high urgency. It's the relentless drive and obsession to adapt, learn, and build immediately without waiting for long-term permission. Jane himself abandoned traditional educational routes, skipping years of slow, regulated finance pathways to jump straight into crypto and AI. Why? Because he simply couldn't wait 5 to 10 years to start innovating. In the intelligence age, permission is gone. Gatekeepers, they're gone. You just need the obsession to build right now.
Because ultimately, the intelligence age isn't just about robots doing our chores, it's about freeing up your human potential entirely. So I leave you with this final provocative thought. Master your prompting skills, embrace this shifting landscape, and ask yourself, in a world where AI executes everything, what will you build? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay intensely curious, and I'll see you next time.